5 surprising reasons visiting friends after retirement can make loneliness worse and hurt emotional health. All right, let's have a real heart-to-heart, my friends. How are you feeling today? Before we dive into this, let's take a moment for ourselves, shall we? Grab a glass of water, maybe do a little stretch, or just take a nice deep breath. Okay, now let's talk about something a little tricky. We're always told that staying social is the golden ticket to happiness after retirement. And in a lot of ways it is. Those connections keep us grounded, keep us feeling alive. But have you ever had that experience where you visit an old friend, expecting a real pick-me-up, only to walk away feeling lonelier? Like something's just not quite right. If you've been there, you're not alone. Today we're going to dive into 5 surprising reasons why those social visits, the ones we think are going to be so good for us, can sometimes actually make things worse emotionally. And more importantly, we're going to talk about what we can do to turn that around. Expectations versus reality. When friendships shift, ever picture those friend visits like scenes from an old movie. Warm hugs, belly laughs, and deep talks over coffee. But sometimes reality throws us a curveball. Friends might seem distracted, tired, or just plain uninterested. Maybe their lives have taken turns we didn't see coming. When our expectations don't match up with the real deal, it can leave us feeling disappointed, even rejected. Instead of expecting every visit to be picture perfect, let's embrace the moment for what it is. If your friend's having a rough day, offer support instead of taking it personally. And if the connection just doesn't feel the same anymore, remember, it's okay to grow apart. New friendships are still possible, no matter what stage of life you're in. I remember this one time. I went to see an old friend I hadn't seen in years. I was so looking forward to an evening filled with memories and catching up. But when I got there, my friend seemed really preoccupied and stressed out. We only got to chat for a short while before they had to run off and deal with some stuff. I felt a little let down, but I understood that their life had changed, and I couldn't expect things to be just like they used to be. Instead of moping, I decided to enjoy the short time we had together. I listened to them talk about the challenges they were facing, and I did my best to offer some encouragement. I realized that even if our friendship wasn't the same as before, I still valued it. And you know what? I'm not alone in this. A lot of us have been there. We often have these high expectations for our relationships, and then we're disappointed when reality doesn't measure up. But the important thing is to learn to accept things as they are and appreciate what we have. Sometimes, we need to let go of relationships that no longer serve us. It doesn't mean we don't care about our old friends anymore. It just means we're making room for new connections, ones that fit better with where we are in life right now. I know that letting go of a friendship can be tough. We might feel sad, lonely, or even guilty. But remember, you're not alone. Many of us go through this, and we can get through it. Cherish the friends who are still in your life. Spend time with them, listen to them, and support them. And don't be afraid to make new friends. You never know who might come into your life and bring you unexpected joy. Life is a journey of constant change. Everything can shift, including friendships. Don't try to hold on to what's gone. Learn to accept the changes and appreciate what you have. And remember, you can always create new friendships, ones that will bring you joy and happiness. We picture these visits like scenes from an old movie, warm hugs, laughter, and deep conversations over coffee. But sometimes, reality falls short. A friend may seem distracted, tired, or uninterested. Maybe their life has changed in ways we didn't expect. When our expectations don't match reality, it can leave us feeling disappointed or even rejected. Instead of expecting every visit to be perfect, let's embrace the moment for what it is. If your friend is having a rough day, offer support rather than taking it personally. And if the connection no longer feels the same, remember, it's okay to grow apart. New friendships are still possible at any stage in life. Changes in social dynamics, all right. Let's talk about something we all bump into as we get a little older. How our social lives change. It's not just about having more time on our hands after retirement, though that's a big piece of it. It's how everything around us shifts. Priorities, daily routines, and yeah, our friendships. You know the friend who used to be up for anything? Suddenly they're knee-deep in grandkids, or maybe they're dealing with some health stuff, or they've just found a whole new set of hobbies that keep them busy. It can feel like you're on the outside looking in, like you don't quite fit into their new life anymore. Now it's easy to get down about this, to feel like you're losing something. But what if we flipped the script? What if we saw this as a chance to grow our social circle? Think about it. There are community centers, book clubs, even online groups where you can meet folks who share your interests. It's a whole new world out there. And here's the thing. Friendships don't have to stay the same to be valuable. They just need to be meaningful. You might not see your old friend as often, but that doesn't mean the bond is broken. It just means it's evolving. And who knows? Maybe you'll find some new friends who bring a whole different kind of joy to your life. I remember when my old buddy, Jack, started spending all his time volunteering at the local animal shelter. I missed our regular coffee chats, I won't lie. But instead of sulking, I decided to check out a gardening club at the community center. Met some great people there and even learned a thing or two about growing tomatoes. Jack and I still catch up, just not as often, and it's still good. The point is, life changes, and so do our friendships. It's not about clinging to the past. It's about being open to the present and the future. There's a whole world of new connections waiting for you, and sometimes those new connections can bring a whole new chapter of joy and fulfillment. So, keep your heart open, and don't be afraid to step out and meet some new folks. You might just surprise yourself, feeling like a burden. You know, there's this little thing that creeps up on us as we get older, this feeling that we might be a burden. Ever catch yourself holding back from calling someone, thinking you'd just be bothering them? It's a common thing, this worry that we're intruding or asking for too much. And honestly, it's a real shame, because that kind of thinking can quietly build these walls between us and the folks we care about. It's like we start second-guessing ourselves. Are they really free? Will I just be interrupting something important? And before you know it, we're isolating ourselves, missing out on those connections that mean so much. But here's the truth of it. Real friends, the ones that truly matter, they appreciate us. Not just for what we can do for them, but for who we are. They value our presence, our stories, our company. So instead of going down that rabbit hole of I'm a burden, let's shift our focus. Let's make every interaction a two-way street. Think about it. Show genuine interest in their lives, ask about their day, their grandkids, their hobbies. Offer your support when they need it, and trust that your presence is a gift, not a weight. It's about remembering that friendship is a give and take, a mutual exchange of care and connection. I remember my own struggle with this. After my husband passed, I was so afraid of leaning on my friends. I didn't want to be that person, always calling and needing something. But then my dear friend Martha sat me down and said, "Honey, we're here for you." That's what friends do. We want to be there. It was like a light bulb went off. I realized I was robbing them of the chance to be a friend and robbing myself of the comfort I needed. It's about trusting that your relationships are built on a foundation of love and respect. You're not a burden, you're a valuable part of their lives. So pick up the phone, send that text, and reach out. You might just find that your presence is exactly what they needed, just as much as theirs is what you needed. Comparison and regret, visiting old friends can be a real mixed bag, can't it? It's wonderful to reconnect, but sometimes those get-togethers bring up memories that hit a little too close to home. You start noticing the differences. Maybe they're in better shape, or their finances seem more stable, or their family ties are stronger. And before you know it, that little voice in your head starts whispering, "Did I make the wrong choices?" Or, "Why didn't my life turn out like theirs?" It's a slippery slope, this comparing business. And let me tell you, comparison is a thief of joy. It sneaks in and steals the happiness right out from under you. Instead of dwelling on what others have, let's try to celebrate what we do have. It's not always easy, I know. Gratitude, that's the key. It's a powerful tool, like a little mental reset button. It shifts our focus from what's missing to what's right there in front of us. Maybe it's a warm cup of coffee, a beautiful sunset, or the sound of your grandkids laughing. Those little things, they add up. And here's something important to remember. Everyone faces struggles even if they don't show it. We only see the highlight reel, not the behind-the-scenes stuff. They might seem to have it all together, but trust me, they've got their own battles. I had a friend, Eleanor, who always seemed to have the perfect life, beautiful home, successful kids, always traveling. I'd catch myself thinking, why couldn't my life be like that? But then one day she opened up about her own struggles, health issues, family drama, the constant pressure to keep up appearances. It was a real eye-opener. It's about remembering that everyone's journey is different. We all make choices, some good, some not so good, and we all have our own unique set of circumstances. Instead of looking back with regret, let's look forward with appreciation. Appreciate the life we've built, the experiences we've had, and the people we love. And let's focus on making the most of the time we have now. Because at the end of the day, that's what truly matters. Emotional exhaustion. You know, socializing can be a real energy drainer, especially when those get-togethers don't quite hit the mark. Ever leave a visit feeling more worn out than lifted up? Maybe the conversation was all gripes and gossip or just plain negativity. Instead of feeling connected, you just feel emotionally wrung out. It's a real thing, that emotional exhaustion. And it's something we need to pay attention to, especially as we get older. We've got to protect our emotional well-being, just like we protect our physical health. It's about being mindful of who we spend our time with and how those interactions make us feel. Think about it. Who are the people who leave you feeling good? The ones who inspire you and uplift you? Those are the folks you want to surround yourself with. And on the flip side, if a friendship consistently leaves you feeling drained, it's okay to set some boundaries. It's not about being mean or cutting people out of your life, but about being honest about what you need. Sometimes it's just a matter of limiting the time you spend with certain people. Other times it might mean having a gentle conversation about the kind of interactions you prefer, and sometimes you might need to take a step back altogether. I had a friend, bless her heart, who was a constant source of negativity. Every conversation was a litany of complaints and worries. I tried to be supportive, but after a while I realized it was taking a toll on me. I started limiting our phone calls, and when we did meet, I'd gently steer the conversation towards more positive topics. It made a world of difference. It's about remembering that your peace of mind is worth protecting. You deserve to feel good after spending time with friends. You deserve to feel uplifted and connected. So don't be afraid to set those boundaries and prioritize your emotional well-being. It's not selfish, it's self-care, and it's essential for living a happy and fulfilling life. All right, let's get down to brass tacks. We've talked about the challenges, but what's the game plan? We're not saying ditch your friends, not at all. It's about being smart about how we handle these connections. First and foremost, let's get real about expectations. Not every visit's going to be a hallmark moment, and that's just fine. When you do have those good times, really soak them in. Cherish them. Then let's think bigger. Expand your social horizons. There's still a whole world out there full of new people and experiences. Don't be shy about trying new things and making new friends. And for goodness sake, let's drop the guilt. You're not a burden. Your presence, your stories, your very being, that adds value. Remember that. Get into the habit of gratitude. Focus on what you do have, not what you think you're missing. It's a simple shift, but it changes everything. Lastly, be picky about your company. Surround yourself with folks who lift you up, not drag you down. Your peace of mind is worth protecting. To put it plainly, lower those expectations. Not every visit is perfect, and that's okay. Enjoy the good times. Widen your circle. New friends and experiences are out there. Go find them. Ditch the guilt. You're valuable, plain and simple. Count your blessings. Focus on what you have, not what you lack. Pick your people. Choose relationships that bring joy, not exhaustion. It's about being intentional, about taking charge of your social life. And you know what? You've got this. The autumn bloom of Arthur Benson. Arthur Benson, at 85, was a fixture in the quiet, unassuming town of Harmony Creek, nestled in the heart of the American Midwest. His weathered hands, spotted with age, told tales of a life well lived, a life that had seen its fair share of sunshine and storms. His eyes, though faded, held a spark of resilience, a testament to the human spirit's ability to weather any tempest. Arthur's story, like many others, was a tapestry woven with threads of joy and sorrow, friendship and betrayal. And it was his friendship with Thomas, his childhood confidant, that had left an indelible mark on his soul. They had grown up together, Arthur and Thomas, their lives intertwined like the branches of the ancient oak tree that stood sentinel in the town square. They had shared secrets whispered under starry skies, dreams painted on the canvas of youth, and adventures that had etched themselves into the very fabric of their beings. But time, that relentless sculptor, had chiseled away at their bond, leaving behind a hollow echo of what once was. Thomas, once a beacon of camaraderie, had become a stranger, a ghost of his former self. Arthur, in his retirement, had sought to rekindle the embers of their friendship, hoping to find solace in the shared memories of their youth. But the reality was a stark contrast to his expectations. Thomas, consumed by his own struggles, had become distant, his words laced with bitterness, his eyes clouded with resentment. The visits, once a source of anticipation, became a burden, a reminder of the chasm that had grown between them. Arthur, once a man of unwavering optimism, found himself questioning his own worth, his own choices. Was I a bad friend? He'd ponder, his voice a mere whisper in the solitude of his home. Did I do something to deserve this? The weight of these questions pressed down on him, threatening to extinguish the very spark that had defined him. He felt isolated, not just from Thomas, but from the world around him. The town of Harmony Creek, once a haven of warmth and familiarity, seemed to have lost its luster. One evening, as the sun dipped below the horizon, painting the sky in hues of orange and purple, Arthur found himself sitting on his porch, a glass of iced tea sweating in his hand. He gazed at the fireflies dancing in the twilight, their tiny lights flickering like fleeting moments of joy, and in that moment a realization dawned on him. He couldn't change Thomas, he couldn't rewrite the past, but he could choose how he responded to it. He could choose to let the bitterness consume him, or he could choose to find a new path, a path that led to joy and fulfillment. He recalled a conversation he'd had with his late wife Eleanor, a woman of unwavering wisdom. "Arthur," she'd said, her voice soft but firm, "life is too short to dwell on what's lost. Focus on what you have, on the beauty that surrounds you." Her words, though spoken years ago, resonated with him now, a beacon of light in the darkness of his despair. He decided to take Eleanor's advice. He began to focus on the good he did have, his health, his memories, the beautiful sunsets, and all the things he had taken for granted. He looked at old photos of his children and grandchildren. He called them more often. He even bought a new phone to learn how to video chat with them. He was amazed how much joy they brought him. He also decided to get out more. He started volunteering at the local library, reading stories to children, his voice a soothing balm to their eager ears. He joined a woodworking club, his hands finding new life in the creation of intricate wooden carvings. He even took up painting, his canvases bursting with vibrant colors, reflecting the newfound vibrancy in his soul. He discovered that the town of Harmony Creek, though small, was brimming with life, with stories waiting to be heard, with connections waiting to be made. He found solace in the company of fellow retirees, their laughter echoing through the halls of the community center, their stories weaving a tapestry of shared experiences. He learned to appreciate the simple things, the warmth of the sun on his skin, the gentle breeze rustling through the leaves, the taste of freshly brewed coffee in the morning. He found joy in the mundane, in the everyday moments that had once seemed so ordinary. He also found that by focusing on what he had more to offer others. He was able to be a better friend to his other friends. He was more patient and understanding. He was able to listen to them and offer them support. This in turn helped him to feel more connected to others and less lonely. He also learned to set boundaries with Thomas. He realized that he didn't have to tolerate Thomas's negativity. He could choose to spend his time with people who made him feel good. This helped him to feel more in control of his life and less like a victim. Arthur's transformation wasn't an overnight miracle. It was a gradual process, a journey of self-discovery, a testament to the human spirit's ability to heal and grow. He learned to let go of the past, to embrace the present, and to look forward to the future with hope and anticipation. He discovered that loneliness wasn't about being alone, it was about feeling disconnected. And he found that connection wasn't just about the people he had known for years. It was about the people he met every day in the library, at the woodworking club, at the community center. He learned that life, even in its twilight years, was a canvas waiting to be painted, a story waiting to be written. And he, Arthur Benson, was the artist, the author, the master of his own destiny. And so Arthur's story became a beacon of hope, a testament to the resilience of the human spirit, a reminder that even in the face of adversity, we have the power to choose our own path, to create our own happiness. His life became a testament to the idea that aging wasn't about decline, it was about renewal. It was about finding new passions, new connections, new ways to contribute to the world around him. And as he sat on his porch one evening, watching the fireflies dance in the twilight, a smile spread across his face, a smile that radiated the warmth of a life well lived, a life filled with joy, connection, and purpose. All right, let's wrap this up with a thought that's been bouncing around in my head: loneliness. It's not just about being physically alone, is it? It's that feeling of disconnection, like you're floating in your own little bubble. But here's the kicker, and it's a good one. We've got the power to pop that bubble. We can change that feeling. It's about shifting our mindset, about nurturing those meaningful connections that truly matter, and about being open to new opportunities no matter how old we are. We can create a life that feels full, rich, and connected. And you know what? That's empowering. We're not at the mercy of loneliness. We can take control and build the kind of life we want. Before you go, I'd really love to hear from you. Have you ever felt that kind of disconnection, that inner loneliness? Just a simple yes or no in the comments would mean a lot. And if you found any of this helpful, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe to Thuy Share, and share it with someone who might need to hear this. Take good care of yourselves, my friends. Until next time, stay connected.